Hey there. At the start of the new year, there are 5 questions that I typically like to reflect upon, and I want to share them with you. You may have heard of the Roman god Janus. Janus was this Roman god that had one face, side of his face, two faces, facing forward and also to the rear. And that's relevant here because the questions I'm going to share with you are based on hindsight and foresight. Sometimes I refer to it as backcasting and forecasting. And I like to say that hindsight plus foresight gives us insight. It becomes equivalent to insight. So at the start of the new year, which we're still kind of in, you should think about reflecting on the following 5 questions. You could also do this at the start of every month. Let me also just share how I think about foresight. Foresight is not about predicting the future. Foresight is actually about your ability to be super observant about the present so that you can identify multiple possible future states and future scenarios. And hindsight is about your ability to pause and to reflect and figure out what you want to bring forward. So hindsight plus foresight equals insight. Here are the 5 questions I recommend. The first question to ask yourself, number 1, is what about my present reality is something I could not have even imagined a year prior, or we're going to do this on a monthly basis, a month ago. And really sit with gratitude about that. Don't take anything for granted. It could be something as small as you started drinking more water. It could be something as huge as you started hiring people if you have your own company, or you started to collaborate a lot more effortlessly with people if you work in a larger setting, a larger corporation. So think about what was something about what is something about my current reality that was completely unimaginable a year ago. Question number 2, what has gone right in the past year for me? And celebrate with that. In fact, gift yourself a cupcake. That's what I like to do. Third, what went wrong? What were the things that didn't quite turn out the way I hoped they would turn out? It's okay to be cognizant of our failures, of our fumblings. And if nothing else, it's to build a little compassion for ourselves and also try to not make those same mistakes again. The 4th question I like to ask is, what has been bringing me joy in this past year? And how could I turn that into a habit? So for me, something that actually is not quite easy to do, but brings me a lot of joy is my new habit to practice stretching on a regular basis. And I get help a lot from that by an app called Stretch It. But whatever it is for you, what is it that brings you joy and how could you cultivate it into a habit? And the 5th question I'd love for you to ask is, who will my new teachers be in 2023? From whom could I learn? And how might you reach out to them? If there's someone who is accessible to you, can you extend an invitation to have a coffee with them? And if they're a teacher who's far removed from you, someone who you don't have access to right now, how can you on a regular basis begin to tune in to their work and their messages so that you can learn from them? Our teachers are everywhere. So those are the 5 questions. What's something in my present reality that was unimaginable a year ago? What's gone right? 3rd, what's gone wrong? 4th, what's been bringing me joy and how can I cultivate that into a habit? And 5th, who are the teachers I want to bring into my life? All of this is about asking more questions. Ask questions like, what if, and why not, and so what? They're really liberating. Go forth and enjoy this journey of the next 12 months.